let's dive right in. Today, we're talking all about hypertrophy training, which is really the science behind how to build bigger muscles. And believe me, this isn't just about aesthetics. It's a total game changer for your health in the long run.
You've probably seen people at the gym or online and wondered, how did they do that? Is there some kind of secret? Well, it's definitely more than just throwing weights around. There's a real science to it. So let's pull back the curtain and see what actually makes muscles grow.
So first things first, let's tackle that word hypertrophy. I know it sounds super scientific, maybe a little intimidating, like it's straight out of a biology textbook, but the idea behind it, it's actually incredibly simple. At its core, hypertrophy training is just a fancy way of saying you're working out with one main goal in mind: to make your muscles bigger. That's it. It's the specific blueprint for adding size and mass to your frame. Now, what's really interesting is that muscles can grow in two different ways. The first is called sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. Think of it like pumping up a balloon. You're basically increasing the fluid inside the muscle cell, which gives you that full, pumped look. Then you have myofibril hypertrophy. This is more like weaving a rope with more fibers to make it thicker and stronger. You're actually making the muscle itself denser. So, how do we actually kickstart that growth? Well, you need to send your body two very specific signals. The first is mechanical tension. That's the feeling of your muscle being stretched and strained under a heavy load. The second is something called metabolic stress. You know that burning sensation, that pump you feel after doing a bunch of reps with short rest? That's it right there. To get the best results, you really want a bit of both.
Okay, and this brings us to a super common question. Is training to get bigger muscles the same thing as training to get super strong? Not exactly. While a bigger muscle is often a stronger muscle, the way you train for each goal is actually pretty different. Let's break it down. So check this out. When you're training for size, that's hypertrophy, your sweet spot is usually more reps, somewhere in that 6 to 12 range, with shorter rest periods like 60 to 90 seconds. But if your number one goal is pure, raw strength, you're going to lift much heavier weights for fewer reps and take much longer breaks, sometimes 3 to 5 minutes, so you can give it absolutely everything you've got on each lift. We've talked about the what and the how, but let's get to the why. Because look, building muscle isn't just for bodybuilders or pro athletes. It has some incredibly powerful benefits for every single one of us, especially as we think about our long-term health.
Honestly, the health perks are huge. Having more muscle quite literally improves your quality of life. It helps you move better and stay independent as you get older. Plus, it fires up your metabolism, helping you manage your body fat and blood sugar. And get this, it even makes your bones stronger, which is so important for fighting off osteoporosis. All right, enough with the theory. Let's get our hands dirty. How do you actually start doing this stuff? We're going to give you a simple weekly goal to aim for, and then we'll walk through 3 amazing must-do exercises. So what should you be aiming for each week? A really good target, according to the experts, is about 15 to 20 challenging sets per muscle group. Notice I said challenging. You've got to push yourself a bit. And don't try to cram it all into one day. Spread it out, give your muscles time to rest, recover, and actually grow. First up, let's talk about the dumbbell row. This is an absolute beast of an exercise for building a strong back and biceps. It's a classic for a reason. Okay, so for this one, you're going to get into a nice, stable lunge position. Brace your core, let the dumbbell hang down, and then pull that weight up towards your chest. The key here is to drive your elbow toward the ceiling and really squeeze your back muscles. Keep that elbow tucked in close to your body. Aim for about 3 sets of 6 to 12 reps on each side. Next up is an exercise with a pretty intense name, the dumbbell skull crusher. Don't worry, it is way safer than it sounds, but it is absolutely fantastic for targeting your triceps, which, by the way, make up most of the muscle in your upper arm. So you'll lie on your back, press the dumbbells straight up over your chest, and then, keeping your upper arms still, you'll bend at the elbows and lower the weights down and back, just past your head. Then, squeeze your triceps to press the weights back up. Just like before, shoot for 3 sets in that 6 to 12 rep range. And of course, we can't forget about the legs. The dumbbell squat is a powerhouse move. It hits almost everything in your lower body, your quads, your glutes, your hamstrings. It's a fundamental movement for building overall strength and size. For this, you'll hold a dumbbell right up against your chest. Keep your core tight and think about sending your hips back first as you bend your knees to lower down. Try to keep your chest up and your weight in your heels. Then drive through your heels to stand back up. And you know the drill. 3 sets, 6 to 12 reps. Okay, hold on. before you go running off to the gym, we need to talk about the single most important thing: safety. Seriously, building muscle is a long game. It's a marathon, not a sprint, and nothing will derail your progress faster than an injury. So please remember these rules. Good form is everything. It is always, always more important than lifting a heavier weight. Start light, get the movement down perfectly, and then slowly add weight over time. And listen to your body. Doing too much too soon is the fastest way to get yourself hurt. So there you have it. We've gone through the what, the why, and the how of hypertrophy training. The science is there, the health benefits are undeniable, and now you have a practical way to get started. You officially have the blueprint. The only question left is, what are you going to build?